It's another edition of the QLZ Green Room. I am Mo Lightning, and as much as I'm looking forward to speaking to today's guest, it's all about you. If there's something you want to ask, you want to interact with our star, with our guest, you can do so. Do it in a comment right now, and I'm going to do what I can to get your question on. With that said, you've enjoyed the music for years, decades now. Hard to believe. Of course, Rose Petal has been doing very well for us lately. He is Jamie Madrox, if you will, Twiztid, one half of Twiztid. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
What's up, man? How are you, Mo? Nice to see you.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm excited to be here. I was listening to that introduction. I thank you graciously. Decades, man. Golly.
I know.
When you say it like that, I feel like I'm aging in front of the camera.
I had a milestone birthday last month, number 40. So I'm doing a lot of reflection in life right now. So
I know that age. It's a good one. No, but I do. I totally know what you mean. And I think at that point when you probably turned 40, at that very moment, you realize that you come to grips with that fact that age is literally a number. Yeah. And I think it's a state of mind. And no matter how much like stock you put into that number will determine how much you lose out on all the good stuff. Yeah. You just do you, and you are however many old the energy in your body is. That's how you should live. That's all I'm saying.
I get that. Still looking back, and you kind of wonder, where the hell did the time go?
Agreed. No, absolutely agreed. At some points it went completely fast, and at other points it just took its sweet time.
Yeah, like 2020, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, if you're gonna go ahead and say it, I'll co-sign with you. Yeah, that was a long one. It seemed longer than it should have been.
Amen to that. And we're big on mental health here at the radio station here at QLZ. And 2020 was rough for everyone, including yourself. You're used to touring. Mm-hmm. You're an artist that's used to being on the road, interacting with people. Are you holding up all right?
I mean, yeah. Thankfully, with the invent of the interwebs and social media, we're able to keep in contact with a demographic of our listeners, which is like a godsend because, quite frankly, we need people to talk to, and it's that human communication that I feel that like came to test or was put to test, so to speak, and like gave a lot of people a bad end of the stick because a lot of people weren't prepared for that mentally. And I think when it all came down like an avalanche, it was the outlets that we all look to, be it the music or movies or what have you, that filled that void for a lot of us. And some people, that void wasn't as easily filled. So props to y'all and props to, WQLZ for holding it down and actually caring, because a lot of people don't take the time to do that. So I appreciate and applaud y'all for doing that too, because literally it's as a group effort, we will all succeed.
Yeah, we'll be all right. It's just been rough in the meantime for many of us. You talk about turning to TV or shows and music. A lot of people also realize they don't have hobbies. So a lot of people tried to learn something new. Did you try to learn anything new?
I should have. You know what I did? I tried to learn how to focus better on my communication skills. I tried to be more open-minded, and I'm trying to figure out how to properly say it. To come to grips with the things that may or may not be wrong with myself, and try to make a willful attempt to try to better myself by being stuck with myself. Like it's no secret or nothing. I was public about it on my Instagram page, but I actually got COVID, and that time was like cabin fever, and it was just a lot of I seen the world through a different eyes, and it's crazy. It did things to me. It gave me this new perspective where I don't really take offense to things as I would have. You know what I mean? I'm a lot more open. My offense level is just like, I'm not offended if you don't want to, or if someone sneezes or something, oh, please don't be offended. Like, I get it, dude. Like, I just roll with the punches. But once upon a time, I would be very offended. You know what I mean? So I think everything happens for a reason. It gives us more layers like an onion, so to speak.
Okay. All right. I think that's also another sign of getting old. But I mean, that's not.
You said it, not me. I'm gonna agree with you, but just yes, you're right. You're right though. But yeah, all things with time and age, and I think going through stuff and living through stuff is the greatest on the job training.
Yeah.
Literally, you know what I mean? It's like that. You don't get none of those life examples like life.
Exactly. Don't tell any of my former bosses, but I must have been a pain in their ass earlier in life. But
you know what? I can co-sign for that. I was probably not a joy to work with time and time again, but now just seeing how things life changes and how when you become in a position of responsibility, how you look back and be like, how would I have dealt with myself had I would have been my own employee or what? You know what I mean? And you start really breaking it down, and you're like, oh wow. That's different. I didn't want to have to disagree with myself, but I guess I was wrong. I stand corrected.
Yeah, but again, we won't talk to any former bosses about that.
For sure. Please don't have it. Yeah, be like, Jamie, we got a surprise. It's your Wendy's boss from back in the day. Like, oh God, oh no, oh God, no. No, right.
That actually would be a good interview, but we'll get. I don't have that ready to go.
Like, oh man, what did I sign up for here? This is your Jamie. It's your life. Oh no, right on.
Well, it worked out for The Rock, so it's all right.
Okay.
Rob mentions that Breakdown, one of the best mental health songs. It helped him in bad times, so he wanted to thank you for that.
Awesome. Thank you, Rob, for listening. I appreciate you. And I want to say that I like to say that I have stuff that gets me through the day and stuff like that. So it's an honor to be those things for other people. So thank you, Absolutely. Rob. I appreciate that, for real.
Eric says that we need to bring you guys to Springfield, which I love the idea. Right now, the world's dirty, but when things clean up a little bit, hopefully we'll have you in town.
Hey, man, we would be honored to be there. We would love to be there. Any chance that we get is an opportunity to be able to do what we do, or to spread some awareness about what we do, or to be anything for anybody. That's a blessing, man, in my book.
Oh, hell yeah. Brian wants to know how you came up with the name Twiztid.
We came up with the name Twiztid. We were sitting in a car with, at the time, it was Violent J of ICP. And we were talking about doing a project. We were originally going to call that project Infamous Superstars Incorporated. It was going to be my brother Paul and Blazer Dead Homie somehow. And the three of us were going to be this ISI. And that got scratched. And we became a duo, which was Paul and I, which leads into a whole domino effect of another crazy story. Lo and behold, I want to say, I think it was one of them came up with the name and the other one came up with the spelling, and here we are today. So I want to say that was a crazy venture that happened that one crazy day in a car. Slowly but surely, here we are today. So everything happens for a reason, man. Absolutely.
You never know where that lightning will strike, where that idea will just hit you.
Absolutely. And I think it was I think what's cool about it too is just like, to try to make it as individual as it could be, like its own fingerprint, so to speak, so that it would have some sort of caricature, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. Character details, cartoon effects and details.
Now, I do feel like the Twiztid Tea, how they have this recent onslaught of media attention right now because of that viral video. I feel like there's a partnership opportunity there.
I don't know. My relationship with the Twiztid Tea company is a strange one, truth be told, because I think we had some sort. They sent us some sort of a letter at some point in time.
Oh, really?
I want to say they were worried about something we were doing. Like, I forget what it was we were doing. I think we were doing like an energy drink or something, and they were
you guys actually had an energy tea, didn't you?
I believe so. Yeah. And it was like, it was like, there was some upset to that, and I'm like, okay, it's cool. We weren't trying to ruffle any tail feathers. We were merely trying to just make something tasty because I love iced tea. It's one of my favorites.
Maybe you can mend those wounds somehow.
I don't know, man. I feel like they played their card. They could. I feel that there's a lot of ways you can attack a situation, and I'm a conversation guy. I'm a let's sit down and talk about it guy. I think we can all come to a compromise in the middle at some point and everybody can be happy. I'm that guy. I try to be that guy. That's part of that what I told you about. I'm trying to work on me and bring myself better with what I need to be.
That's very mature of you. Stop being such an inspiration.
You know what? I am trying to be an influence, and I hope it's, I don't know. Perhaps, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe my kids will see this and be like, he tried. No.
Hey, that's still better than a lot of people. Let's be honest.
I'm kidding, and I'm totally serious at the same time. It's like I appreciate those who like who use their platform to try to exude good stuff to other people that listen, because we do a podcast every Wednesday, and we've been doing it for like, I don't know how many Wednesdays now. We're up into the 20s of the episodes or whatever, but it's the dedication value. I believe my IMO. I think that if someone can look to something and have that confidence, it'll be there. It's a dedication thing. And that's something that we've always been dedicated to, which is our listeners. So yeah, man, I'm all about that.
And you definitely have a connection with those followers. When we announce these green rooms, people get excited. But when we announced that you and Twiztid was going to be on, there was like another level of excitement.
Hell yeah. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. So yeah, so when you see us out there and you hear us saying stuff like, try to keep positive or upbeat, because I've had people that, and again, I don't want to tell nobody's private stories that they say to you in VIPs and that kind of things, but I've heard it all, man. I've heard it all. And to be that kind of crutch, or to be that kind of Band-Aid, or to be whatever that is for you. Again, we're honored to be that, because I've had those things for myself, and it's a blessing to be able to be that for somebody. So if you hear me saying some stuff and you're like, oh, well, blah, 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 he's all positive and shit, like, yeah, because I want you to stay positive. I need you to stay positive. These are crazy times right now. I need all of you guys with your head on straight and thinking right.
How dare you be positive? You don't do that.
It's Twiztid, sir. It is Twiztid. So expect what you thought you were going to expect, and put that in a blender, and now you pour it over ice.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of positive news for us rockers, that you guys are working on a more rock-based effort right now.
Yeah, Unlikely Prescription. We got so far. Well, you guys are awesome for spinning Rose Pedal, which, by the way, super duper rock. Y'all guys are our boss for that. I appreciate that greatly. Perfect Problem, Corkscrew just dropped the other day. Yeah, man, it's a very rock oriented record. Turning it up and taking a bigger, bolder step into something that we've been progressively moving forward. So this is like, I guess you would say, like, if I'm trying to figure out how to say this, if Generation Nightmare was in a sense freshman, this would be like the sophomore boy. Like, we're starting to, we're on the football team now. We don't think we're cocky, but we know we're here for a reason. You know what I mean? It's like we have our wits about us. We're not completely jaded, but like, we know we're on a mission and we're trying to do what we're trying to do. And I think it's people like you and the radio stations that are embracing the song and putting it out there for people to listen. And it's bringing a lot of new people to the plate and being like, what is this? I've never heard of this before. Yeah. And bringing people back from the old school and having them be like, oh, wait, hey, wow, where have you been? And I don't remember you sounding like this. So it's a good thing all the way around. I love it because it's bringing everybody back to the family reunion, so to speak. Grab a plate, mix up a plate. We got coleslaw, potato salad, everything. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be there. You'll be there.
Well, we got a question here. Wonder which 90s hip-hop group inspired you the most?
90s hip-hop group inspired us the most. I mean, is when you say group, I have to, my mind goes immediately to Beastie Boys.
Okay.
There is something about the Beasties that always kind of resonated with me. I think it's the fact that I had them all wrong. I thought that they were, straight rap, and then they went to the punk. And then when I found out it was really the punk first, and then they went to the rap. And then when they got to a stature that they wanted to be, they were able to do what they wanted to do. And I love that. I love those kind of like insights to people who literally like take life's reins and really, you know, ride it out and get the full expectations of what they want out of life. And I can't do nothing but like sing the praises of that. So like that kind of stuff is beyond inspirational to me. And I mean, but we're just talking like rappers and stuff. I mean, obviously Biggie and Tupac, you know, Paul, my brother Paul loves Tupac and I love Biggie. And people say that's because of the size differential. I say, you know what, Biggie was a poet. Biggie was a very, very talented artist. So yeah, man. But I'm inspired by a lot of stuff, truthfully, from all facets of music, pretty much.
Oh yeah. Is there anything maybe out of rock, out of hip hop that inspires you? Something you're listening to right now that's people would not expect from you?
Because you know, you don't know me. No, I'm just playing. I'm just joking around. No, you know how everybody thinks like, well, I know what you're listening to. Like, no, I go weird. Like I listen to like a lot of horror soundtracks a lot of times when drawing and stuff like that because I think that that's my mind decompressing. Because at any given time I'm working on a bunch of projects, so I don't know how to possess the turn off switch. So like when I listen to music with no words, or like, you know, the Friday the 13th Part 3 sound, you know, like I'll just listen to that and there's no words. I'm just humming along with the music and drawing. I'm able to turn off. So like that's something. But as far as with words, I'm listening to a lot of John Lennon. Like I'm liking this like when he tried to go back and do the blues. There's something there. There's something there that's really, really cool. And I'm just liking it a lot. So yeah, I don't know. That's probably about as crazy as out of the, I wouldn't expect that to say that probably that at the current time.
And you talk about creative outlets and whatnot. I love that your name is based off of the Multiple Man. I mean, like, it's so many, like, I've always loved the Multiple Man. And when I like Jamie Madrox, people are like, what are you talking about? And then there's you who embraces it. Have you always been a comic fan then?
I have always been a comic book fan. My dad was into comic books, and I grew up in a comic book household where there were like easily, and I'm not trying to church this up either. There was like 24 long boxes and probably 56 short boxes of comics at any given time. So I had a nice library of looking at them. Not much of a reader. Had a lot of problems with ADHD and words and stuff. So I was a good picture looker at her.
Okay.
I can look at a picture like no other. No, but I think that's where my love of artwork came from a lot. Like in like I associate like comic book covers, like album covers, or just how like a piece of art, like a Mona Lisa or something like that, or something that represents a time in my life where I remember where I was when I seen that comic book cover on the rack or in the drugstore or whatever. So like it has that kind of thing for me, you know what I mean? It's a time capsule, so to speak, or a time machine. It takes me back. So I like that. And then as I get older, the only comic book, seriously, and I've said this a bunch of times and I can't say it enough, the only comic book that I've ever sat down and actually tried to read for a good amount of issues, probably up to issue 20, was Spawn from Tom McFarlane.
Okay. Yep.
I literally sat down and I made myself do it. Like I read the first page like 8 times and I worked my way through it. And it's like before, and I was like, I'm reading a comic book. That's great. It's awesome. So yeah, but you know, and lo and behold, now we have our own comic book, so that's even more rad. Talk about full circle on everybody.
Have you actually read your own comic, or?
I have. Okay. Yeah. It's more of a better thing now. Like I've come to grips with it at times, but like at the beginning, it was like a big deal for me. Like I just, you know, in paying attention to something and sticking with it. Very, very short. Like I'm over it. What were we talking about? You know what I mean? That guy. Yeah. So it's like try to read with them. It's great.
Oh, that's good. It's not like, oh, they made a comic about me. I haven't read it. I don't know.
No, I love our comic book. We have the new arc is coming up. It's through Source Point Press. We got the entire team back again. Mary's drawing, Dirk's writing, Alessandro's coloring. Me and Paul are starring and adding in our 2 bits and pieces. And it's just like, it's great. It's called The Curse of the Green Book. It's a new story arc. We've already had a 1-shot and a whole entire like 4 or 5 series go in there. We've had a what do you call them? What are they calling them now? Like a trade paperback.
Okay, like the graphic novel,
like collecting
sort of
all of the issues together. It's just cool, man. It's like I love it. I just That's a dream to me. That's a legitimate, real, like I would be straight up front. And if I said that wasn't something that I've always wanted, like I grew up, man, Kiss. Alice Cooper has a comic book. I'm currently trying to find one in a nice grade. Alice Cooper.
Okay. Okay.
Comic book. That's cool to me. Kid and Play have a comic book. I'm looking for that too. I love the idea how these people carved a niche in time, and it was that important to my life and obviously others as well.
No, I get that. And of course, you're involved with Astronomicon, which a Comic Con in the Detroit area that you have in August this year, right?
Yeah, it is coming up in August. We like everybody else, we've been dealing with the whole pandemic stuff. So we made a vow that until we could do it right, we weren't going to do it. Like we don't want to. We're not trying to start with a square and cut corners until we end up with a circle. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to be straightforward. We want to protect everybody. We want to make sure everybody's safe. It's a family event. So I want everyone to be able to bring, Jane and Junior and mom and dad and the baby cart and everybody to be happy and safe. And we are going to be dealing with something this time that we weren't dealing with before, which is like a head count. And it's just going to be like, and that's just literally one of the many different facets of things that we'll be dealing with. But like, being protecting, like if you can only have this many people in the room and you got to factor, now you got to minus out vendors. Yeah. And I got a guy at the door with this guy, like at the, look, checking IDs at a bar. Okay, you go in, now you come out, So like you're literally turning people in and out to maintain that quota so everybody's safe in the distance. And it will happen. It's just going to take a little extra TLC. But we love that much, and we will LC it.
No, I get it. I absolutely get it. Before joining QLZ, I took a break from radio, and I worked for Wizard World Comic Con for a couple of years.
All right.
And a lot of people don't know how much work goes into these shows. And I can only imagine how much worse it's going to be now because you have all the limits, and you have to click people in and out.
You said it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like, I can't even, like, we were talking about that. I mean, it's like, I could just say being presumptuous. I'm like, do you have to have people at the doors with the thermostats? Because I went to a few things during the window of time since this all started and, where we are today. And at one point during, like, I want to say it was like Halloween or something, I had went to an outside event. And, everybody had the face coverings on and stuff, but it was weird. Like, yeah. I felt strange, like, because like there was the threshold and there was literally people with the shields and they had the thermometers, and I'm joking around with my kids and I'm like, what happens if the thermometer goes off? We got a live one, everyone get back. And I'm like, and I'm just like, my kids are like, Dad, stop. I'm like, it's just, I'm joking around, but at the same time, it's like you try to comically laugh off these things that are kind of shocking and scary and kind of just, getting the best of you and try not to let that happen. Well, needless to say, it was a great time. Everybody had a blast, but yeah.
It's like a horror movie. It
kind of is.
There was a simulation that came out last year. I never played it, but apparently there was a plane crash simulation that you could like download on your computer, and people are like, why would you want to play that? Because, well, it's the fantasy of it. It's the imagination.
Yeah. It's like you want to take your mind for that exercise.
Yeah.
It's literally an X-Men simulation room. You just typed in what you wanted and you faced your fear. No, hey, those things can be empowering. Facing your fears can be extremely empowering.
I have a feeling you have Cerebro just off camera, don't you?
Oh, I do indeed. I just put it on and all the tentacles and I just tap in with everybody. Oh, if it could only be that easy. That would be so killer.
I should have decked out all my superhero gear with my gauntlets and everything.
It. Just putting it on and all the jewels. You know it.
Back to some music. Eric's back. Wants to know when you're going to get a Duran collaboration.
Okay. Listen here, Eric. I will tell you exactly where we are with that. A few years back, 3 to 4, we reached out to Duran because it is very true. I am a huge fan of them. Shout out to my homie Meltdown. He knows. He just texted me the other day and showed me the album cover. He said, every time I play Seven and the Ragged Tiger, I'm thinking of you, man. Like, that is my jam. I don't care. You like what you like. You love what you love. I love that album. I love that band. And we reached out to them. And I was like, I wanted to get Simon Le Bon to sing on a song. The song was Nightmares. Our people and his people, like, we emailed back and forth. There was some, correspondence, and He asked what the song was about. He asked for the lyrics. He was like, I'd be down to do it, but we're leaving to go on tour, to go overseas to tour. Keep us in mind for future projects. So immediately I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, yeah, oh, this is the greatest thing in the world. Oh my God, it's gonna rule. So I love that he gets it, or people like him who get it. You know, like you can change someone's world in like 2 or 3 minutes. You could just be a complete a-hole, or you could be a professional, or you can understand that, you know, people will, it might not be your cup of tea, what have you, you know, whatever the story may be. I feel that at least the people that represent him and his faction are very, very, very professional. Nice. I'll say that. Okay. I'll speak very well of them, and that was awesome to have that kind of communication with them. And just as a fan, like I was just on the Abacus, I was like, one more to the good people right there, real good people, man. I love shit.
Awesome. That's awesome. And I love how this all circles back around. We talk about mental health and Duran Duran and your music. Duran Duran has a tune, Falling Down, which is my favorite go-to song when I'm depressed.
What a good jam. No, yeah. Sweet selection, sir. That is a good one. Yeah, again, you know what I mean? It's just like, there's something about them. Like I remember when they were doing this, there was an interview they were releasing a record called Red Carpet Massacre. And they were talking about their writing. It was just, again, intrigued. From a fan perspective, from a person who does loosely what they do, you know, in the wheelhouse of what they do. I might not make the tires, maybe I put them on, however you see it, say it. But like I was blown away. I love people's procedures. Like I am like a little kid in the candy shop. I'm like, dude, how do they do that? How does this made? How, you know, like that's me. I love to see how things work.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Anybody's tuning in right now, they're streaming us right now. They're like, wait, why is Jamie of Twiztid and Mo from the Rock Station talking about Duran Duran right now?
Because we are just doing it up in the green room and talking about whatever we G-damn want to.
Pretty much.
That's right. That's how we do it. It's all good, Mo. I'm having a good time. I hope you are.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, of course, I can't let you go just yet without asking, when is luscious Johnny Stark coming out of retirement?
When last I spoke with Johnny Stark, it was a good yestermorn ago. And it was in a broken email that said that wrestling just wasn't what it was, and he's never coming home again. No, I don't know. Johnny Stark is I don't know. I think his wrestling boots were hung up before everybody met him. And I think at this point they are bronzed in a corner somewhere. I love that. I love that you know that. That's so great. I don't even want to say
pro wrestling fan.
Those you know, you know.
I remember the ICP days, the WWE, of course, Juggalo Championship Wrestling. I mean,
yes.
I get
Do you
that.
remember that game somehow? And I don't know if this is true. Maybe you can validate it for me, or anybody listening or watching can validate. At some point, I remember when you started that game, you could immediately be in your choice of players. You could have been Monoxide, but the only way to be my character, supposedly, was you had to beat Sabu and then punch an alarm clock. I don't know how many times. I mean, 17 times probably. And then you have unlocked Jamie Madrox. And now you had the option to be me as a character. Because if you play that game right now and put it on, you can't be me. So they're like, oh man, they shorted you out of the game. You're not in the game. Like, no, I'm in the game. You just have to unlock my character. So that's a fun fact for all you gamer nerds out there who care about that game. Validate that for me. Yes, sir. Rob, thank you, Rob. Thank you for co-signing. Appreciate you.
So let me ask you though, is that offensive or is it flattering that you have to beat Sabu to get you?
I mean, that's kind of rad. I know Sabu, and Sabu, like I know him as a human being. We are acquaintances. I don't know if he considers me a friend. I considered him a friend, but no, Sabu's a great dude, and I know people who have battled him and lost. So for you to have to beat him to be me, I think that's going to go with the honored category.
The homicidal, genocidal, whatever sidal, yeah.
Right, with the nail like that long, just stabbing 2 liters and throwing him in the crowd. Oh man, many a crazy wild times and with Sabu and the gang, man. Those are great dudes.
I will tell you, a lot of people ask, because I interact with celebrities like yourself all the time, and people are like, oh, when do you get starstruck? And I don't know if I was starstruck as much as I was just shocked that one day Sabu started following me on Twitter.
I'm saying, Dude, he's a good dude. He is a good dude. I've seen the last time I seen him, I want to say was about maybe 3 years ago. I was at a comic and card convention or some sort of a promotion that was going on, and he was like doing the autograph thing, and I just walked by him and I was like, man, what's up? And he was just like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I'm here with my family. We're buying comic books and having a great time. Like, what do you think I'm doing? And it was cool catching up with him. He's always going to be, he's going to be Sabu forever and ever. And every time you see him, you just got to point it up for him.
That's all you can do,
man.
That's all you can do. I still think you're going to come out of retirement, though. I host a podcast with Devon Dudley every week, and I give him crap every week about he's going to come out of retirement eventually. All wrestlers do.
You know what? You're probably right. But like some of those, I don't know. They all so many different stories. Much like we talked about individual like a fingerprint. Those guys all have different crazy backstories that a lot of them lead to their life decisions. And in some cases, if it works best for them, then so be it. But yeah, no, if you still got the piss and vinegar to get in that ring and get that squared circle jumping, you go earn that. You go do that.
That was good. That was very masterfully crafted to say these guys are effed up. Let them do that.
I mean, yeah, like if you're of conscious mind and you're like, hey man, I got no more business getting in there. I don't want to get in any way
for a living.
Yeah, right. You just want to be a bag of mashed potato coming to the ring, a bag of mashed potatoes, and you're just like, oh god, it's gelatinous. Slash them in there. Oh no, I definitely don't want to be that. I hope no one ever has to be that.
Right. Amen to that. Jessica wants to know when we get a show in town. Wants to get Twiztid in town. I agree. First and foremost, let's get kick this Rona to the curb and see we can get things cleaned up a little bit. Then we're going to get people in town. And Jonathan says, wrong with me. Hit me hard, helped me through some tough times. So thank you for the music, you guys.
Thank you, Jonathan, for that comment, man. I appreciate that. Seriously, again, I can't hear that kind of stuff enough because, again, like I have those things that are near and dear to my heart or albums that saved me in my end times. You know what I mean? So like that's awesome to know that, to have that connection. That to me is one of the. I'm not going to say it. You know what it is.
Yeah.
No words.
Absolutely. Oh, that's good. That's good. It hits you right here. You
know what I mean? It's like I don't know, man. I don't want to sound cliche. I don't want to sound whatever. I don't want to sound anything about it. But I love that. I love hearing that because like a lot of the times people are like from our community of where we came from. It was a very keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Obviously you know what I mean? It was kind of like the Jerky Boys. You know what I mean? Like when you first found the Jerky Boys, it was like I found this online. This is crazy hilarious. And you show a couple of your buddies, and that was about the gist of it. But then when it became this big deal, and it was like a movie, and everybody knew about it, then it wasn't so whatever. But it's like with where we came from, it was like don't let nobody hear this, that, and the other. But then you can say it saved your life, man. Sing it from the rooftops, man. Let everybody hear it. Let everybody get a little bit of that.
I don't think it's cliche. I think the world just needs more of it right now. We got too angry, and look where we're at. I mean, I think just, man, have some fun. Have some fun.
I agree, man. Life is way too short. You are absolutely right, Mo. Real talk.
So with that said, I know I gotta let you go here in a moment. If people want to reach out to you, where can they find you online?
I am on Instagram at @pops @pops_and_vintage. You can hit us up on Twiztid. That's at official Twiztid. Is Instagram at Tweet Me So Hard on Twitter. Facebook is probably the #1 hub to find out all your Twiztid information, where we're going to be, what we got going on, what single just dropped, when we're going to be talking to people like Mo. Man, you need to know about this stuff, so definitely hit over there.
Yeah, how else are we going to talk about Duran Duran?
I'm telling you, man, and you know what? If and when it happens, I'm saying you are in my top 5 people that are just going to get that shush email. You're like just sitting there taking a timeline, and you're going to be like, "What in the H is this?" And I want you to just smile and be like, "Jamie Madrox, thank you, sir."
That's all.
Got you like that, man. I'm telling you, because it's like it's one of those things, and I love those guys dearly. So I'm hoping if I'm passionate and I'm about it, I'm hoping something will come to fruition for it.
You gotta start reaching out to Duran Duran. Help this guy achieve a dream.
I'm telling you, man. It's just But you know what? I don't want to be greedy because I've had a lot of dreams achieved. We got a toy. We got a toy out. We got our song on the radio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got some stuff going on, man. We got some good stuff going on. So I don't want to be too greedy. But yeah, if you happen to know Simon LeBon, tell him, give Jimmy Madrox a call and see if we can't make a little history.
Perfect. Well, as you just said for me a moment ago, thank you, Jamie Madrox. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mo Lightning. I appreciate you, man. WQLZ in the house. That's 97.7.